when you need to just pull some off. And he does a nice job. I like his voice. It sounds a little bit like Pete's, but it's, you know, where Pete's can get harsh is about the closest word I can say. Pete's voice can get a little harsh, a little angry. And Simon's isn't as much. So that little version of shouldn't have touched the eye, it's too wet. Version of him sing Going Mobile. And he just gets lost in it. I want to look into more his stuff. And you know, when you're like saving for things like moving, you have to put so many little things on hold. They all add up. And some of it's, you know, Simon Townsend music, like just looking over at my picture of Raj, and over here needs to come in. Like looking into Justin Clayton. That's Julian Lennon's buddy. I like to hear his voice. Get, you know, find his thing, hear some demos, because I've seen his guitar work. One of the few people who has a copy of Stand By Me. More than 2 words out of Justin. And you gotta admire people like him, you know. BFF forever type thing. This needs to be done. This needs to be addressed. So the side of his face caving in. It's, you know, not caving in. It just never got really. See, it's when they fall apart and you can fix them. You know you're onto something. So, Robin Gibb's son Spencer did a take on Run to Me, and I've heard a little bit of it. Not bad. Yeah, it's like, honestly, I haven't say I've decided if I like, you know, like his music or not. Yeah, it's like when you're gonna, yeah, it's like Pink Floyd. I have The Wall. I've heard, you know, Money on the radio and all that. I want to hear Dark Side of the Moon, but when I do, I want to, you know, give it, you know, the respect it deserves. I want to sit down and, you know, listen to it without looking at The Wizard of Oz, and just sit and, you know, think about it. It's like we can listen to Tommy or something, or a concept, you know, anything that's like a concept album or a rock opera. We gotta sit down and listen to it. Really, you know, quadrophenia and all that. Give it the respect it deserves as a song cycle. You know, if you have to take a break, you know, if it's like, it was one of these that was done for a four-sided album, then, you know, you pause it where the natural breaks are between the album sides. You know, take that moment and reflect over what you just heard. The original version of Tommy lays out a little different than the movie, with Christmas and all that, and where the Acid Queen shows up. And that's why you want that you want the 3-disc DVD version, because you want the commentary. You want to hear from Pete and Raj what's going on, and, you know, it makes you wish that John was there to help. See, spin him around, you see like this little area in here is not looking nice. I had to trim down a little, he had a lump in his neck, I had to trim that down. Right here is where I did the trim, and then, you know, it turns up things like this that don't look good. So that's a part of where his ears are going to go. Yeah, you get into some of these Pete things, and you can start, you know, you listen to who's next. You start getting an idea of where Lifehouse was going. Seen some. I wonder that part of the head's a bit big. Cover that up with hair. I've seen some wonderful takeoffs of the Who's Next album cover. So, because the whole thing is they took a pee break. They're driving around and photographed the guys. They actually did christen that cement thing. And I think one of the interesting ones had them had it, you know, one of those monuments with runes on it, an Ogam or Ogam or Ogram or something like that Irish writing that only the Irish understand, and had them pissing, you know, like taking a crap on it. Some more you read about the Who and all that. 3 out of 4 of the Who would have taken a crap on it, and the anti-adultery would have driven the drunks home. So, yeah. While you were passed out in the back, I used to see what I could fit up your nose. Ha! Start filling it a little more of the neck. You see, this reminds me of this. I mean, this is the work I did earlier, and it's stiff enough that I can work on it. Make sure you get these nostrils. Now, some of this skin's a little wrinkly, needs a little patching. You can do that when you paint it. Do my best to film painting him and explaining what I'm doing. There, that little heart under his nose, and it looks like a nostrils collapsed over here. For this angle, it looks like the nostrils collapsed, so I want to check. Up here, it doesn't look like his nostrils really collapsed. It's just not defined from the rest of his face. So we do this. We have to. Yeah, kind of look like zombies. This stage. Yeah, Raj wants brains. This is Raj. He wouldn't want brains. He'd want knocks. It sounds like the kids are coming home. The dogs are exploding with happiness. See how dogs are. The dogs aren't understanding why I'm not getting up and opening the door for them. Don't need to go too deep with the nostrils, because you can fix that later. Just don't want to be too wide. His nose is not that wide. And this is really damp. I'm gonna not press too hard. Hopefully it'll soak up some water. So this eye looks like it's squashed down. Left eye looks like it's squashed down compared to the right one. Yeah, maybe you can pick that up in the camera. But it's too wet to do much to it. So I'm just going to have to wait until that sets a bit. Again, if it's sticking to you, just get a little bit of... I've been doing this for 40 minutes already. God, kids, you know, I remember there was a time before YouTube. Okay, it's really crooked nose you got there, Raj. Yeah, it's a really gnarly bowl I've got there. Just soak it a little bit and it'll clean up. Test of boredom. How bored are you to pick stuff out of your water bowl? And this again, this might is a little drier. Get a little more shape in here, or I might have to do some dry work. This mouth is not looking... that really... Okay, I need to find another garage because this is not... Spider Pete does whatever Spider Pete does. Not sitting right with me. Ah, there we go. Yeah, all this poking and all that, and I'm just not happy now with that side of his mouth. Again. Okay, how many pictures of Roger do we have of him sitting in a bathtub full of beans, kids? And of course we have that Richard Barnes book. Yeah, we know Roger's just dying. So... And is the oxen weary number 3 going? Can he watch? So I tell myself, you'll stop picking in an area, but you're going to hurt him. And then what do? I go in and pick at that exact area. Remember, this is the side that goes up just a smidge. What's your favorite Ghostbuster? Yeah, got a set of those, or 2 of them. Missed out on getting Ray somehow. Hopefully the sculptor will have another one. Ah, there we go. There we are. That's what I'm looking. Okay, you want to get... Make sure mouth curves just naturally. Stick, stick, stick. Poke it, push it a little bit, get some teeth. Flatten this out just a bit. That's the thing, when you hold them, you gotta, I always keep forgetting, look at the one side. You know, you look at one side when you're working on them, you gotta remember, flip them over, because otherwise you're not gonna see that little area there in the upper lip that's getting... There. And this side of his mouth goes up just slightly, and it's getting that balance. Now the dogs are just barking for the sake of barking. You have dogs, they do that. There we go. That's a quarter. Right, we're filling this in. Doesn't give me the laugh lines that I was wanting quite yet, but I want to let all this in here dry.